Howdy everyone, Runt9 here, and welcome back to Runt9 Plays Battletech. We're jumping into the Trap Sprung mission that we were about to do at the end of the last episode. We have some slightly injured mechs, and if this is the map that I think it is, yes, this is the map that I think it is. So, I believe that the enemy reinforcements are going to be... I think they come down back here, and then we can literally just let them knock each other out cold. So what we want to do, ideally, is get up this side of this mountain, which I don't know that we can. I know there's this road that we can probably sneak. Do we have anyone without jump jets? No, they all four have jump jets. That's great. So basically, we would send probably the Vulcan forward to trigger the reinforcements, then back down and just take pot shots when we can, but keep them safe, and probably rotate mechs in and out so that we don't take too much damage. Because at 1.5 skull, or actually no, this was only 1 skull. The 1 skull difficulty, like, it's not going to be anything crazy. Like, they're not going to throw an assault mech at us, but it's entirely possible that it's going to be like 1 heavy mech, and the reinforcements are going to be like 4 lights or something. But it's not going to be anything too ridiculous. And so, again, I think that if we just skirt along the side of this mountain, that we will be okay. And again, we'll make sure that we get everyone up here first before we trigger the battle. Because if it is anything super dangerous, then we want to stay out of harm's way. But it's also entirely possible that it's going to be like a medium, and the reinforcements may be like a medium at half armor and a light or 2. Because again, 1 skull, it's kind of hit or miss with 1 skull as to how difficult they're actually willing to make it. But we can jump all the way up to there, which is a good start. Now I know our Blackjack doesn't have the greatest jump jets in the world, so we may have to be a little bit slow climbing this. Vindicator, go ahead and jump you up to that rock. Then Blackjack, yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of a lower jumping speed here, because I think our Blackjack only has 2 jump jets. So we're gonna try to jump right into this forest here. Okay, so that did trigger enemy combat, which is fine. Okay, so it is a heavy, not an assault. It is a heavy, and it probably at 1 skull isn't gonna have full armor. I'd be surprised if it did. We're just gonna keep. Actually, you know, we should have sensor locked there. In hindsight, because then we could have gotten a good idea of what we're up against. And again, I'm pretty sure that on this map, enemy reinforcements are going to drop down in this little basin back here. We'll just continue jumping on up here. This is probably a decent spot for you. And then Silver Eagle. We do have sensor lock. You are in sensor range. I kind of like the position that you're in. Why don't you go ahead and show us what we got going on? It's a Thunderbolt with like 1/4 of its usual armor. So reinforcements haven't been triggered yet. I am pretty sure that it will, though. So if this is how it's going to be, then we should probably just go ahead and take a couple pot shots at it this round. Actually, no. What we're going to do is we're going to reserve. Wait for it to do something. Which, it's starting to climb the hill. Which is, A, not expected, and B, not what we want. Because I thought that this is one where more enemies are going to be thrown at us. But I'm going to get a little bit aggressive with our placement on this one. So it's a Thunderbolt. It has 3 medium lasers, an SRM-6, a Flamer, and a PPC. Ideally, the SRM-6, Flamer, and PPC would be what we'd first, but honestly, just like start knocking torsos off. We're on the left side, so we could pop off the 3 lasers, the SRM-6, and nothing there. So the other side is going to be the Flamer, a bunch of heat sinks, and the PPC. So this works for me. Honestly, just take the shots from where you're at. We don't have enough resolve for me to really care. We need to get our morale up to 31, so we start generating more resolve per turn. Go ahead and take the shot that you got. We did expose some structure. We didn't do a ton of damage. We did get the left torso down a little bit and the left leg. Honestly, this is one where my ideal scenario would be we can chop a leg off and 2 torsos off so that we get the pilot injuries and we don't actually kill the CT. Which we should be able to pull off because we mostly have precision weapons. Blackjack doesn't really have the greatest jump distance, huh? It's going to be a little bit rough getting our Blackjack up this this mountainside here. All right. You can go up here to get a couple decent shots in there. Again, I don't think we go for any called shots right now until we kind of have, you know, some CT armor damage to be concerned about. Our Vulcan can definitely start doing a little bit of a flank. I'm waiting for it to be like, here's your enemy reinforcements, by the way. So we can get, I mean, honestly, like, if we can get rear shots, that's also great. Because rear is much more likely. There we go. There's the enemy reinforcements. Okay, they're coming from out there. So this is where we're going to start pulling back immediately, which fortunately, well, our Vulcan now has its back turned, and it's probably going to take like a Panther PPC to the back or something. But we should still be able to get out of here okay. Ammo explosion, pilot injured. I think that was a pure pilot injury that didn't destroy center torso. If that's the case, then we get 3 pieces of salvage, and I chose the 2-9. So this could potentially be huge. I mean, that was incredible. And that's, granted, I know how much flack I give machine guns, but that is why machine guns are good, is if you can get a hit in rear armor with a flanker, then the crit chance is incredible. It rolls 5 times per shot in a machine gun. So I legitimately think that our best case scenario here is to just jump into the forest as basically as far out as we can, and then reserve next turn. This gets our heat back down. Can our Blackjack get to a decent spot? Okay, we can at least get our Blackjack into this forest. So it can kind of start navigating the top of this mountain. Can we get you into the forest? We cannot. So why don't we jump you over here? That's still going to be 4 evasion pips. That'll be good there. And then our Vulcan. Honestly, I kind of want them to come to us. So go ahead and jump back into this little crevasse and call it good. We should have sensor locked there, but it looks like it's 2 lights. Yep, I had a feeling there was going to be a Panther. Like, something in my brain told me that it wants you to go in so it can hit you in the back with the Panther PPC. Like, I just knew. Awaiting orders. Okay, so if we move over here, we can't quite get a second evasion pip. So 2 Panthers. I called it. You gotta admit, I called it. Freaking Runt9 over here. Just send it. Like, just send it straight down Main Street. I think both UAC shots hit. We probably need to exit the game, clear out the memory leak after this one. After this video, I should say. I mean, it would be kind of neat if we legged it, but I mean, I'm not going to worry about it for a freaking Panther. This gets us kind of, sort of, some shots. Go ahead and take what we're given here. We can nuke the right arm. That would be great. Get the PPC out of there. Perfect. And we nuked the leg as well, so it's going to be knocked down. With the PPC out of there, it's down to an SRM-4, I believe. So that Panther is effectively neutralized. I think that we actually want to start closing the distance, assuming that those are the only 2 enemies. We cannot quite jump down into the forest. Now, we don't want to close too much with our PPC plus LRM fella. Yeah, let's actually keep the height so that we have a higher difficulty bonus, because this is a height difference of 5. -5 to difficulty. And our PPC did miss, unfortunately. 85% chance. Doesn't mean much. So this is where I think you just go ahead and send your Vulcan as far down as you can. Medium laser, not likely to hit. Might as well go ahead and just try to blow off this other leg. You only need to do 10 damage. I'll take the free called shot on that one. We destroyed the torso instead, which is also fine. Doesn't really matter too much. So we got another PPC incoming, and they sent it at the Vulcan, who has like 7 evasion charges. Maybe not their smartest idea in the world. So why don't you go run over here and smack this Panther in the right side. And hit it with some lasers and some machine guns and all that kind of good stuff. Good stuff. Looks like it destroyed the right leg as well, so we got another knockdown, which means we have more easy called shots. So both Panthers are effectively neutralized. I would say that this one went significantly better than the last fight. Like at this point, I would be just absolutely shocked if we took any structure damage whatsoever. Like, we're barely taking any armor damage at this point. You're able to dodge the 2 PPC shots that actually came out at us. Do you have shots from here? You do not. But fortunately, you are in a position where you can actually move now. Go ahead and move down here and just go ahead and take whatever shots you got. Here, who is closer to death? I mean, your PPC isn't technically removed, so until your PPC is removed, we're gonna still do this. I mean, I'll go for the kill, but right arm destroyed. Okay, so now both PPCs are off the field. So let's just see which one has lower CT. 43 and also on the ground. So actually, we should focus the one that's on the ground right now. Makes the most sense because we get free called shots. There we go. CT destroyed, and now we just have a PPC and an LRM-5 to shoot at this one. I think this is an easy called shot CT. Try to get the kill. It was a hit to the CT, but unfortunately just the one PPC is not quite enough to get there, and it is a light, so it is going to go before us. It is basically dead, though. I think we just send our Vulcan in for the melee kill. And it shouldn't matter where we hit it, but let's go ahead and hit it on the side that is completely damaged, so that it should be pure torso damage. And there you go. Super easy mission, and now we're guaranteed 2 Thunderbolt salvage out of this because we knocked out the pilot without destroying the center torso. We didn't core it. And out of 9, we might get the 3rd piece. If we can land a Thunderbolt out of this, I would be absolutely stoked. Yeah, those missions, if you ever see trap sprung, take the salvage. Absolutely take the salvage. Ah, okay, so it was an ammo explosion, which I guess counted as coring it. I think maybe because it had ammo in the CT that exploded. That's probably what happened. So we do only get the 1 salvage, unfortunately. Of these, I mean, a PPC and an SRM-6 are probably the more valuable. I have no interest in a Panther whatsoever. The only reason we would take the salvage is to sell it. But SRM-6s are not always available in shops, but I always want more SRM-6s. Once we start getting a bunch more mediums, I love just slapping medium lasers and SRM-6s on and just going for it. It works out great. So that also only took us 14 minutes, so we are going to be able to knock out the other contract in this one, which means that we can spend a little bit of time on some mech customization and getting ready for our next planet. So let's take a look at where we're at right now. I think that there's really no reason not to just go ahead and jump into last mech standing. And again, I think this one also is one where you can turn them against each other. The other one, I had it backwards. That one is, it's a big mech with low armor, and then they ambush you with reinforcements. But it's still one that, like, always take it if you can. I think at higher difficulties, it'll even be an assault mech with no armor. And if you can properly nuke it without coring it, you know, if you leg it, you get 2 salvage, and if you incapacitate the pilot any other way, you get 3 salvage, which is definitely ideal. We also got another 1000 XP from that, so go ahead and see if there's anywhere that you want to throw that down. Let's see here. Who have we been rocking in the Vulcan? We'd probably have them focus on piloting a little bit. I think Silver Eagle. Yeah, so we've already been focusing on piloting on him. Crack Shot. I mean, I don't think there's really much that I want to do here. More base weapon hit is always a good idea. But don't spend XP just because you have it. It's usually better to bank it, focus on the attributes that matter the most, while also just picking up gunnery every so often anyways, because more chance to hit is always better. So this one, again, take the salvage. I'm pretty sure that we can have, that this one's going to end up being another faction comes in to also sweep out this, the two terrorists here, and we can have them fight each other. And at 1.5 skull difficulty, like, this will not necessarily be easy, but if I'm correct, and this is another one where they'll fight each other, then we can really just sit back and not worry about it, and it'll probably be a heavy or two that, probably like a heavy and a medium are the two primary ones. A lance has been rampaging. Well, this one just says a lance. It doesn't say two. There's one like this that it specifically says 2 mechs. So there's a lot of missions in this game, and I do kind of get them mixed up a little bit. Because basically the way it works is it'll generate the mission, it'll generate the difficulty, and it'll generate the map. But the mission itself is the same. Your lance against the others, I don't believe that. I am more prone to believe that there will be reinforcements, but this map is garbage. I like the water, but there's nowhere for us to flank unless we go all the way around here. Which I think is still going to be the ideal way to handle this, is go backwards and all the way around. So that's going to take like 5 minutes just to get in position. So just keep heading that direction. That's going to be the best way to handle this. Because, like, if you're doing just a battle type mission, there's virtually no reason not to get yourself in the most advantageous position you can. If you're doing an ambush convoy, you usually want to just dive in head first. If you're doing an assassinate, it really depends on the mission. Usually you want to dive in head first, but not always. On escorts, you just don't do them. On capture base, you pretty much have to go in. Usually, like, if you can flank, it's good, but you don't always have the ability to flank. And when it comes to things like defend base, obviously you stay still. So battle is the only one where it's like a guarantee. Go ahead and work yourself all the way around to the flank. There's no time limit. If there's no time limit, just go. Just do it correctly. There's no reason not to. Yeah, we have forgotten to rename our mechs and also forgot to leave the game. So both things that need to be done have not been done. We will probably, hopefully, remember to do names when we're redoing the builds for at least a couple mechs. We don't have a lot of tech points right now, so it's not like we can redo all of them in one travel. If I remember correctly, Sacramani was only like either 13 or 18 days away, which is not going to be enough to redo every mech. Nor do we have the weaponry to redo every mech anyways. So we're getting to the point now where we're going to be able to start cresting this ridge. I think we stay on the backside of this ridge and just keep pressing forward, and then we crest it once we get a little closer to the side of the enemies here. And I'm going to keep sending the Vulcan a little bit ahead. I'm okay with it getting just a little bit ahead, just in case we do end up, spotting like some sort of reinforcements. But I think that for this type of mission, if there is going to be reinforcements, that it will tell us that after the fact. So far we've spotted 1 light. Make that 2 lights. I'm going to go ahead and reserve again, and reserve again. Okay, so no mediums or heavies, at least not yet. So I think this is where go ahead and jump forward into the forest. Looks like we may even be able to get a shot off here. We've got a javelin at half armor and a spider at half armor. That That's definitely not 1.5 skull worthy. So there 110% will be more enemies. You just don't know where. Don't fire the snub, but sure, go ahead and take a couple UAC shots.
That didn't hit.
It'll drop the evasion by 1 and won't cost us too terribly much heat. The blackjack, we're probably going to want to get up onto this rock if possible, but like honestly just sprint into the forest. Or no, sprint right there, we'll get you up onto the rock. Like they're probably not going to go after you. Alright, for the Vendy, can we get you in position for a PPC shot? Looks like the answer is yes, but it's not going to be a high percentage shot. Whereas the Vulcan, we can definitely get in there and break an evasion charge down. I think that's going to be our best option here. Yeah, there's going to be reinforcements. Like 110% can't guarantee. There's no way that 2 half armor lights is all that there's going to be. I just don't remember exactly how it works. Yeah, so there's something else down there. We don't know what that is yet. So now we can at least take a 50% shot on it. It is going to cost a good chunk of heat, but I'll take it. It's fine. Not a big deal. Okay, so 3 lights. Still don't think 3 lights is 1.5 skull worthy. There's gonna be something else going on here. It's just, like I said, I don't remember exactly what that something else is. Okay, so there's a 4th light mech. Maybe this is just one of those 1.5 skulls where they spam you with lights, which really isn't that big of a deal. So, evasion pips aplenty. You're the closest one, so you're getting sensor locked. There's pretty much no reason for us to fire on you.
I'm receiving you.
Alright, and then the question is, can we get our blackjack up on this rock? Yes, kinda. And that won't give us great shots, but we can at least, I mean, dump the large laser. Just take a couple AC2 shots. Both of them hit, and that also dropped an evasion token. We can push up our Vindicator here. Doesn't look like we can push it up and get an evasion pip. I mean, we can there. Neither of those shots are super high chance, but I'll go ahead and take them. We're bleeding heat, which is good. DPC did hit. That's good stuff. So it's, I did see medium laser crit. I didn't even check its weapons, but so that's going to be a javelin with 4 mediums, which is absolutely something I would like to not have to deal with. We can get 4 evasion pips there. That's pretty solid. And I think we turn the medium laser back on for this volley. Because we are, I thought this was like Highlands or something. We're definitely not generating any heat at all right now.
Have no doubt it will be done.
The machine gun hits did get in there. Didn't get any crits out of it, unfortunately. Okay, so a flea can be annoying if it gets in close enough to use its flamer, or 2 flamers. But again, it's at this point, it's 4 lights with half armor. Like, don't really care. I'm used to 1.5 skull being a little bit more of a challenge. I mean, that's a Panther, but like... Okay, so we tanked a PPC shot. But I'm sure you guys can guess exactly where the Vulcan is going this time. Can you get in there with all your weapons? You can. So that's what we're going to do. They're not super high percentage shots, but I'll even go precision strike just to make sure on the right torso. DPC is critical, so it has lower accuracy. And, do you have a shot from where you are right now on the Panther? You do. Go ahead and take it. Didn't get a destruction of any kind, but it did hit the correct torso, also known as the right torso. Ha! And so I think we'll probably just turn center and throw both weapons at you. Okay, so that was a CT destruction. That also works perfectly fine. I am never going to complain about that. Our Vindicator does need to kind of stay back, and I think our best target right now is still going to be the Javelin. Fortunately, I don't think there's anywhere, because right here is going to be within the LRM minimum range. So it actually looks like that's okay. Yeah, we don't want to go there. So this actually seems like an okay spot. We can still get the PPC in there as well. It missed, but, you know, 75% isn't 100%, so you can still expect to see some misses here and there. A couple medium lasers from the flea, not a huge deal. Again, it's more like when it starts getting in there with the flamer or flamers that it can be a problem. I mean, they're all firing on our Centurion who has Bulwark right now, which makes it, you know, not nearly as big of a concern. We'll double check. I think it is taking a good chunk of damage. Okay, maybe not that much. Alright, so we want to send our Vulcan around here and probably just keep focusing on Javelin here. I mean, I think the best answer is send it right there and duke it from the rear. Drop the medium laser. It doesn't have a high percentage chance to hit anyways. So literally every piece of front armor has been knocked off of it, but it hasn't been killed yet. 55%ers. Let's see here. There's still 55%ers. I think we'll just have to take those and maybe even called shot it. 25 damage a pop. I mean, honestly, where are we at if we send in Vin Diesel? Not necessarily in a good spot, so I think what we're going to do is scooch back and go for some indirect fire. That'll drop another evasion pip. That'll give us another 10% chance to hit. And then be nice to get an evasion pip, but if we can't, then maybe even just stay where you are. Are we in? I think we're in minimum range for that. Refire, target moved, and obstructed. Yeah. See here. I think this is still an obstructed shot. I think maybe what we want to do is jump into a better position, which is like right up on them. Yeah, we can't use both without overheating. At this point, I feel like the snub does a better chance, or has a better chance of doing good damage because of how many things are damaged on it. Plus, it'll add the minus accuracy. So it didn't actually destroy anything, but now it has no evasion pips left. And I think we will also not even bother with the called shot on this one. 75% with the laser as well. Yeah, go ahead and fire everything you got. So we destroyed both arms and the left torso. So I think it's down to just two medium lasers at this point. We may even want to melee it on this next one with the Centurion, especially since it took some extra heat there. Honestly, I think that's the first time our Blackjack has gotten hit. Which, I mean, is good. That means we've been playing it properly as a sniper. But you definitely don't want the one that you've torn, you know, 30% of its armor off of to get hit at all, ever. Okay, so there's been no sign of reinforcements. So maybe this was a 1.5 skull mission with 4 lights. With half armor. Like, it seems ridiculous to me, but that may legitimately be what has happened here. Honestly, I don't want to waste the Vulcan on that. I feel like we should just go in for a melee on one of these other dudes. Maybe just go in on the flea. That'll get us into cover. But yeah, just go ahead and spack it that way. Ah, it was a miss. It's 50 of the damage not going in there. Okay. What do your shots look like right now? You have a perfect rear shot on the Spider. The Javelin should probably just get smacked by someone who has heat issues right now. I think taking 3 full shots into the rear armor of the Spider is a good chance for a kill. Left torso, left arm destroyed. That doesn't get us all the way there, but I mean, it helps minimize some of the damage that it's doing. Got rid of a machine gun. Okay. Yeah, just Centurion has some heat issues. Would be nice to fire a full volley, so sure. Just go bop it. There you go. That takes care of the Javelin, and then we can try to knock the PPC onto something dangerous, maybe? I mean, they're not really dangerous at this point. We could fire the PPC on you, and that's probably going to be the best bet that we have. Really don't see much point in firing the LRMs, but it's not much heat, so go for it, I guess. Alright, so that was a leg destroyed. That'll be another pilot injury. I don't think it's going to incapacitate it at this point. Oh, okay, it will, because maybe we got a head hit in there somewhere. Or maybe we destroyed both torsos and I wasn't paying enough attention. So this flea, legitimately, I'm just going to melee it with everyone until it's dead.
Yes, Commander.
So Vulcan, go do a bop.
Yes, Commander.
And then the Centurion will do a bop if necessary. It is not necessary. Perfect. Okay, so that was like the world's easiest 1.5 skull mission ever.
Mission successful.
Like, I think we took a grand total of maybe 100, 150 armor damage across all of our units. It was very, very little armor damage whatsoever. And armor regenerates, so... But granted, I also took the salvage on this one, which maybe was not the smartest idea, but how could I have known? So this will complete a Javelin. I have no interest in it, but it's something to sell. I really don't like PPCs that much, so I don't think taking the PPC is good. There's no plus weapons here, so I guess just take a Panther. It's closer to completing one that we can sell. So we will sell the Javelin real quick, and then at 31 minutes, we're not going to do any mech customization or anything. So we will probably just go ahead and cut this episode off here. So in the next episode, the main focus is going to be on working on our mech builds and figuring out, you know, where we're going to have to line up on repair costs and whatnot. So there's no guarantee that there's going to be any actual combat in the next mission or in the next episode. So if you are more interested in the combat than the building, then next episode may not be for you. That said, there still might be combat, and you will definitely be able to tell by the thumbnail, because if I do any combat in the next episode, that will be part of the thumbnail. Otherwise, it'll just be like a picture of the mech editor or something. So that'll also be a quick way to tell. Because I know for some people, you may only be interested in the combat. And that's totally fair. Like, I get that. That may be the only part that's interesting to you. I really enjoy the mech building aspect as well. So we're sitting at 1.6 million. Let's double check what is for sale here and if there was anything that we wanted to buy. So obviously, like, getting an assault class mech would be great, but I would only buy something that we already have at least one part of. Shadowhawks are really nice. They have a large flexibility in weapon arrangements, but unfortunately, like, there's not 3 parts worth here, and it's a little bit too risky to buy it and then maybe never see any parts again. So an LRM 15 with +1 stability damage is actually really, really good. Because that bumps it up from 2 stability per hit to 3 stability per hit. Basically, the default is 100 stability as a knockdown. So 3 times 15 means that if every single LRM hits, then you're doing 45 stability damage. You almost have half of a knockdown in one volley. It's not bad. Plus, it's also a decent chunk of damage. 4 times 15 is 60 damage if everyone hits. An SRM 6 with plus 25% crit, like, that's a buy, 100%. Whether we use it or not right away, that's a buy. The LRM 15 I'm questioning because I don't think we have any mechs right now that I would necessarily want to run as a missile boat. So we'll get into this more in the next episode. That's going to do it for this one, though. We are done with contracts on this system, so it's going to be figuring out what we're going to do over our trip to, what was it, Sacramonte? You've got, how long is the trip? Oh, it's 27 days. So we're going to have some time to do some mech-related stuff. So we're going to do some customization in the next episode, but for now, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, the single best thing you can do to support the channel is by clicking the like button. That sends a message to YouTube that says, hey, other people might like videos like this, and is a much less awkward way than sharing it with your friends directly. In addition, make sure you subscribe to the channel because that gives you an opportunity to check out cool content like this in the future. And make sure you check out twitch.tv/Runt9Plays, streaming 5 days a week at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Wednesday through Sunday, and at Runt9Plays on Twitter. And make sure you check out the link tree in the description below for an easy link to Discord. But for now, until the next episode, I'm Runt9, and I'll see you later.